Hey guys, it's the Addi Queen, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this windows of color knit beanie. As you notice, like the little squares of color are not all on top of each other, so there will be some alternating. Alright, so to start we're going to find our first peg, which on the sentro it's this peg, but I always act like the white one's the first one. Going to reset our row counter. And you are going in with your brim / lining color, and I do 100 rows for my hats, so my brim / lining will be 60 rows, and then my pattern's going to be 40. Now this pattern can be used on an Addi as well, but it's better for centros because of the 48 pins. You would have to tweak the pattern a little bit to do it on an Addi is what I'm saying, really. So I have my tension in the last hole, and we're going to do 60 rows. So I just finished my 60th row. I'm going to go in with my Fair Isle. I love this yarn in the color Blushing Sunrise. Now here is a rough outline of what our pattern is going to look like. Going to do 2 rows of the Fair Isle, and then 2 rows in between, 2 rows Fair Isle, 2 rows in between, and so on. And every time our square is going to move over 1 stitch. So I'm going to start here by taking our yarn out of the feeder. And as per my pattern, the first 2 stitches are going to be the patterned yarn, then 1 black, 2 patterned, 1 black, and we're going to do that all the way around. Two patterned, 1 black. 2 patterned, 1 black. Now because these are squares, I am going to do the same thing, 2 rows in a row. So we're going to go here. Oop. Pull my patterned yarn out more. It's kind of tight because I'm just starting a new skein. 2 patterned, 1 black. Okay. So now we are just copying what we did before. 2 patterned, 1 black. Pattern, 1 black. Now we are back to our first peg. I'm going to put my patterned yarn in the middle and my black yarn back in the feeder, and I'm going to do 2 rows of solid black. Now that I'm back to my first peg, we're going to do the second row here. So my first peg's going to be black, and then pegs 2 and 3 are going to be the patterned yarn. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. 2 pattern, 1 black, all the way around again. Pull more out of the skein here. Two pattern, 1 black, 2 pattern, and we're back to the beginning here. We're going to do the same thing. Now, later in this video, whether it be in the description or towards the end, I will put the full pattern. I made it in a cellular app called Pixel Station. And I put all the stitches and the rows there. Nope. 2 pattern, 1 black. There we go. I keep wanting to do 2 pattern, 2 black. That's why I keep having to correct myself, so I apologize. So since we're on our second row of this pattern, again, we're gonna put this in the middle here, put our black in the feeder, and do 2 rows of black. So now we are on to here. So my first peg is going to be blue, and the reason why it's only 1 is because peg number 48 will also be the blue, so it'll still be a checker, but it just looks weird on the pattern. So take this out of the middle again. Now your first peg is going to be your pattern, and then 1 black, and then there you go. 2 pattern, 1 black, all the way around again. Oop. See, as we get here, this is what I'm using as my last peg. My first peg here is also the patterned color, so it still lines up. And again, we're going to do the same thing for a second row. So now we have done 10 rows of our pattern. So it's going to restart. We're going to do 2 rows of black, and then we'll be right back to the same pattern here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep repeating what's on this sheet, and I will get back with you as I am later on in the hat. So once you've done the first 10 rows, the next 30 are exactly the same. We just did this, and you're going to go back to your colors being on pegs 1 and 2. I know this can be a little overwhelming to look at, but this is your Fair Isle pattern for the entire hat if you're going to do 40 rows of pattern. The blue squares are your colored yarn and the black is your black. Feel free to screenshot this or write it down. Just use it to help you whichever way you need. Okay, so right here I'm finishing up my last row of Fair Isle. So I'm going to cut my colored yarn, and I'm going to come and I'm going to tie it to my tail from the beginning. Not too tight, but tight enough. You don't want to pucker your fabric, but about like that. I'm going to put my yarn in the feeder. I'm at 94 rows right now. So I'm going to go until I'm at 100. Last row. Alright, I'm going to cut a decently long tail, and you know the drill from here. Going to run it through once with no yarn in the feeder. Easy enough. Take our yarn needle. And we're just going to pick up every single stitch. That's one thing, like using the sentro instead of the Addi. I'm not used to this right here, so sometimes when I'm casting off, I'll put my needle under it mistakenly like that, you know. Just a slight difference. Not that it matters much, just something you have to adjust for. Well, this pattern's looking super neat. I can't wait to stretch this beanie out and see what it looks like. Almost to the end. Oh, I almost dropped that one. Don't want to drop a stitch after all that work. Get my sentro out of the way here. I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot in the top before I do anything else. I don't want to lose my work. I'm going to stretch this bad boy out. Oh, look how neat. That is so cool. I am super happy with this so far. Oh my goodness. It has taken forever, but it looks so neat. Okay. Of course, we're going to take our cast on side, tighten it up, just like any other hat. Tuck all this excess in here to make a nice clean closure. Tie a knot. Now we're going to put this inside the other part. That looks so neat. Now, I did mess up on my pattern right when I started. Right here I messed up. But other than that, she's looking pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to keep this up here. Go through the middle. Then on the inside, you want to come in through the middle as well. I'm going to tie our two ends together. And trim. I am going to leave a little bit of a tail inside because I'm going to use that to attach my pom-pom. But other than that, we are done. I hope that this tutorial was helpful to you guys. Happy crafting, everyone.